Hey guys, welcome back to Native Eats. And today is gluten-free broccoli cheese soup. Because if you're gluten-free, you might think, well, what's in soup that's got gluten? But most thicker soups have wheat flour in them. But today I'm going to show you an alternative to making a thickened soup like a broccoli cheese soup. And it starts with making a roux. I like to make my soups with teff flour. This is a flour that's really popular in Africa, I think. They make teff bread and they eat almost everything with the teff bread. They don't really use silverware. It's kind of like how in Asia they use chopsticks for everything. Well, they use teff bread in a lot of cultures in Africa to eat their food. And so I like to use it as a thickener. And I'm gonna add a little potato starch just because teff flour is a little grainy. I'm gonna show you. So, get started in your pan that I have on medium-high heat. A little bit of good high heat oil. In this case, I'm gonna use avocado oil. Just a little bit, like a tablespoon or two. And then some good butter. And you know I always talk about grass-fed for dairy is the best. So we're gonna go with Finlandia today. And the butter is for the flavor. And so we're gonna put, because we love flavor, we're gonna put lots of flavor right in there. And this is hot because I've had it on, so be ready to put your flour in here. In fact, I'm gonna take this off a little bit because it's kind of hot. And then I'm gonna come over to my teff flour and I'm gonna put 1/8 of a cup. So half of a quart, this is a quarter cup. And then I'm gonna put in my potato starch. And if you're paleo and you don't want to use the potato starch, you don't have to. Just use all teff flour. And I think teff flour, you know what, if you're paleo, I don't even think you can eat teff flour. I'm not sure because it is a grain, technically. So, anyway, so then, you know, you're gonna use, this is good for gluten-free. So, as long as you're gluten-free, you're good. So, and if you're paleo, there's really not a lot of this in here. So get your gravy whisk, and we're gonna just stir around. So we're frying in medium-high heat, medium to medium-high, roughly, and just getting that flour nice and blossom. I'm adding in a little secret ingredient. This is optional, but this is white truffle oil. And this is just gonna give it a little bit of flavor also, just a little bit. You don't want, if you have truffle oil, you do not need a lot of it. It is very, very strong usually. So I just put like a teaspoon probably in there. And that's just gonna give this broccoli cheese soup a little bit of hidden flavor. Now, secret weapons. We're gonna put in saffron. I'm gonna use the rest of my saffron actually. Not that much. Saffron. This is a little unconventional to do it this way, but I like to do it this way because I've learned over the years when I use saffron, be careful you don't cut your hand. You should probably do this in a bowl, but like I've been doing this a long time with my saffron. A lot of chefs and a lot of cooks, they'll just put it in their hand and grind it up in their hand. But I find that the coloring comes off a lot in my hand that way. You can do this however you want. You can grind it up in your hand if you really want to. But I like to just give it a quick little chop. This stuff's really expensive, so get it all, do it over the pot. I lost a little blossom, and that's how expensive it is. I'm gonna put the blossom in there because you do not wanna lose any of those precious blossoms. Now that those are in, getting happy, you're gonna add a few more spices. You're gonna add some pepper, and to this, about a teaspoon of pepper in there. And you know, on Native Eats, I always, for the most part, I almost always blossom the spices in any recipe. It's really good to do that. We need to work on our labeling here at Native Eats, but this is paprika and this is annatto. The annatto is for color. That's just gonna make it that dark cheesy color, and the paprika is both color and flavor. And I'm just gonna use about 1/8 of a teaspoon, and of the annatto, probably a little less than 1/8 of a teaspoon. You don't need a lot, or probably 1/8 of a teaspoon of both is fine with that. And same with the garlic. You don't need a lot of garlic in this recipe because it's broccoli cheese soup. You don't want to overwhelm it. So the same thing, you probably just want to put like 1/4 teaspoon to 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic. And that's kind of optional. You really You don't need the garlic if you don't want it, but I kind of like it. All right, so now we're gonna whisk this around, and it's blossoming up really pretty in here. It's turning a golden orange color. And finally, I don't usually encourage cooking your fresh herbs, but this is lemon thyme. I got this from my garden, and I'm gonna reserve some of the lemon thyme to put in fresh, but lemon thyme is kind of hardy, but I'm also gonna cut some now and put it right in to infuse spice blend. Okay. Ooh. All right. So at this point, this is a bag of frozen broccoli, which I did cut a little bit down. And that is, however you like your broccoli, but I like it a little more bite-sized, and I recommend that you do that. And just get that right into the pan, right in there. And you can use 2 bags of frozen broccoli, but this is actually a bag of organic vegetable mix with mostly broccoli in it and zucchinis and stuff. And in Native Eats Kitchen, I always advocate being resourceful, and because I didn't have 2 bags of broccoli, but I had that, and it has broccoli, a lot of broccoli in it, I was just gonna throw that in. So, wooden spoon at this point. Get your nice wooden spoon, stir that around, and you're just getting the roux all mixed into these vegetables. Like that. Yummy, yummy, it's gonna be so good. Okay, and now at this point, we can grab our milk, our chicken bouillon, and this is about 3 cups right now. I'm gonna go grab some more, but I'm gonna start off with 3 cups. And I'm just gonna slowly pour that in. I'm gonna turn the heat a little bit to back up to medium. And this is gonna start to thicken. You can just throw all your 3 cups in. That's gonna thicken. And get some bouillon in there. Bouillon, we're gonna have about 8 to 10 cups of liquid in here. We have a lot of flavor in here, so I'm gonna say that's 2 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons. And now I'm gonna go grab some more milk. I'm gonna pour 4 cups of milk here. And this is Raw Farmers A2A2 Jersey milk. So make sure you use either raw milk, preferably A2, Jersey cow, or if you are dairy free, you can use coconut milk for this recipe, but make sure it's not sweetened. And you can use any other alternative milk that you like, just make sure it's not a sweetened milk. And the same thing applies. And so this is coming up to a simmer, and I'm gonna go ahead and add in another 4 cups of liquid. And you can see, with milk, you always wanna go slow. And since this is like semi-bubbling, you wanna go slow, and you don't wanna let it get to a boil, because then it will, curdle and separate. So since this is kind of ready, I'm gonna go ahead and slowly add this in. All right, so since it looks kind of liquidy, I'm gonna reserve this for a minute and stop adding and let it kind of get happy for a minute. And while that's doing that, I have the oven preheated to 420, and we're gonna put some bacon in the oven. It's my favorite way to cook bacon. And so we're just gonna throw this bacon, this pack here of bacon, and this is what we're going to top our soup with, is this lovely bacon. So while you're waiting for that to come up a little bit, throw your bacon in the oven. I wanna show you guys also my love affair with Brazzi Bites. If you don't already have one yourself, maybe I will turn you on to the Brazzi Bite. It's so good, and it's really good served with soups. I'm gonna make some to serve with this soup and hopefully show you guys a really cool like side bread that's easy and quick and gluten-free. That's what I love about them. They're gluten-free and they have cheese. Yummy. So these are gonna go in the oven, 420. Get those crispy. 12 minutes. Get those crispy. This soup is ready for me to add the rest of the milk. And we're gonna start adding the cheese. So the browsies are done. We're gonna pull these out of the oven and they look so yummy. Look at those. Look at those little babies. I think I'm gonna put these back in a minute because look at them. You know, they look a little, these are done, but I'm gonna put them back in for just a minute because of all the double ones. Let those get a little more cooked. And let's go like 3 minutes on that. And then let's stir this mixture and make a bowl of this while we let the browsies finish off. Let's make a really pretty bowl of this delicious broccoli cheese soup. Looks so good. All right, OMG, we are ready to plate this. All right, so I'm just gonna take this massive Megazords bag of cheese, move it out of the way. We're gonna get a pretty bowl. We'll make two. Go in for the kill. This beautiful soup. There we go. A little bit of that just so you know what you're doing here. Yeah, then we're gonna chop them up. Just like that. And we're gonna do like that. And look at that. Oh my goodness. And now our browsies are done. Those are ready. And so, you know, if you like truffle oil, you could always put a little bit of that. It's a little strong, so I'm not gonna leave it all. But that's it. That's it. Let's get a spoon. Let's taste it. Our work, our handiwork. And, you know, you can dip your browsies in. It's probably so hot right now. I'm gonna take a little taste. That is so good. And these are the browsies, you know, and inside they're cheese bread. And you can just dip them right in your soup. Such a good meal. It didn't take long to put it together, you know, maybe 30, 45 minutes. And it's an amazing home cooked meal that's Native Eats approved. Remember, subscribe, like, comment, please. And thank you guys for coming and watching this awesome gluten-free broccoli cheese soup. We'll see you guys next time.